So he could have rode any bike here, but he chose the Dyna FXDX Super Glide Sport. Happy Father's Day. Alright, what's going on YouTube? FXDLS Brooklyn is back in the building, and we are here from a familiar location with a pretty solid lineup of bikes. We have my White Flame Dyna 2016 FXDLS. You know it, you've seen it, nothing beats it. And then we have the new kid on the block, the 2023 Lowrider ST. As you can see, we're starting to put some more miles in that. Got the notorious boot burn out in that pipe. No heat shield on this one. If your boot looks like that, we're probably going to be friends. Trying to get the old man to ride this because he's never ridden the Lowrider ST, but he really wants to ride the Dyna Super Glide Sport today. So here he is, the road captain. Happy Father's Day. Why this bike today?
I love this bike. I love the way it rides. And, it was in the shop. We did some work to it, and I want to give it a run, a little good run. Yeah, and then I'll pick up the ST on the way back.
All right. What do you have to say to all the fathers out there?
Man, love you all. Happy Father's Day. God bless you all. Yeah.
All right, so you heard it. The old man wants to ride the old Super Glide Sport, so he's going to be on this for a good amount of miles today, and then I'll probably get him to switch it up, and then he could rip around on the new bike, the SD. But right now he's going to be on the old Dyna Super Glide Sport, which you haven't seen in a while. We haven't been giving this bike enough love, but it still exists. It's still here. But that's it. We're going to start the bikes. We're going to get rolling. And of course, it's not a Father's Day video if we don't show love to the classic 2016 Ultra Classic Low. They don't actually even make this model anymore, so this is a special one. He's got a lot of motor work in this thing. This thing absolutely rips. If you've seen my channel before, he takes off with this bike like none other. But yeah, he wants to be a cool Dyna bro today. So on Father's Day 2023, the road captain is abandoning the performance bagger lifestyle and moving on to the Dyna bro lifestyle. Here we go, little startup action on the ST. Both Fab 28 exhausts. Alright, I could do that. Alright, you ready to roll? Alright, love this guy. Alright, let's get moving, y'all. Dyna FXDX and Lowrider ST. Let's get moving. So yeah, before we get too much into the video, I do want to acknowledge how incredibly fortunate I am and how grateful I am just to be able to be doing this thing with my old man that you all have seen me do for the better part of a decade at this point, which is sharing this passion for the bike life. People write into the comments all the time like, you gotta be grateful for these moments. It's like, trust me, I am extremely grateful for every single mile I put in with this old man, and that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's I had this experience recently when we did our bike trip to the Lost Highway event, and a bracket that held my oil cooler had completely broken off, so I was dragging an oil cooler down the highway in the rain. So even when I was under my Dyna trying to fix this pretty significant problem getting poured on in the rain, I remember just, even at that moment, just enjoying the challenge and enjoying the problem solving and enjoying the ups and downs on the road, especially with my old man with me. So I've had a couple buddies within the last couple of years whose fathers have passed away, and they did have relationships with their fathers where they rode with them similar to how I do. So I do know how fortunate I am. I don't take any of these miles for granted, and even if we're just doing like a little 50-mile rip or whether we're riding cross country, the fact that I even got to do that one time is everything, man. I should fill his tank for Father's Day. That'll be his Father's Day gift. But we actually got him a really fancy giant solo stove that he's been eyeing for a while. So he's basically going to have the Lowrider ST of fire pits for Father's Day. All right, let's fill this bike up. One thing I like about this bike is bigger tank than the Dyna. Yeah, it's not a moto vlog until you have a clip of you filling up your gas tank. Am I right? So yeah. you know, it is nice, like I said, to not only get to share these moments with the old man, even just filling up the gas tank, even the mundane moments of wrenching or getting gas or whatever. But it's also, you know, there's not many guys his age who are 63 who ride as hard as the road captain rides. Am I right? Right. And there's not too many guys your age that are riding this bike. Well, most of your friends are bagger guys, right? Yeah, not the road captain. He's on the ultimate cool guy Dyna today. I mean, on the coolness chart, he is 100% on a cooler bike than I'm on right now. I'm on something that's practical and modern performance. He's on 100% cool guy bike right now. And the fact that he's doing it on his 63rd year just makes it that much cooler. But yeah, man, I mean, he looks great on that bike. You know, he's rocking his new first MFG flannel riding jacket that he's really excited about, you know. I gotta say, after being what I've been through, you know, I definitely feel a lot better just knowing that my dad's riding with Kevlar lined jeans, as well as a Kevlar lined jacket, as well as a full face helmet. You all who have followed my channel in the early years know that for years he'd be appearing in my videos wearing a half helmet, and it was only, I think, in 2021 where I finally won the war of convincing my dad to wear a full face. So I just want my dad to be okay, you know? So getting him to slowly wear gear over the years has been a battle that has been worth fighting, for me at least. And that's it. He's like pretty much in full gear right now, so again, you know, that makes me feel better because, you know, let's be real, he ain't getting any younger, so. Dude, he is pulling away from me on that thing. This guy's ripping, man. This guy's out of control, man. He's out of control. But yeah, I'll probably do a video after this when I finally get him to hop onto the ST, because he hasn't been on this bike before. It'll poison your mind, man. Yeah, man, I'm having to push this thing to keep up with this guy. He's already going crazy. But yeah, you know, like I said, I know it's a very special thing that I have with my dad, and you know, to make it even more special, him and I do have a similar riding style. We do have a similar taste in bikes, right? So he will enjoy himself on a 2001 FXDX just as much as he's going to enjoy himself on his 2016 Ultra Low. And look, man, it doesn't get much cooler than having a dad that is on that bike that's in front of me right now and actually enjoying it and pushing it to the limits where he can. You know, he's the one who taught me. You know, I learned from the best. And, you know, I like to think that I've taught him some things along the way, like learning how to use a Lexan unit or just wear somewhat proper gear on the road, or how to make an Instagram reel. But yeah, if you go back in time to some of my earliest videos back in 2016, one of the earliest ones I did was a ride that mirrors the exact ride we're doing right now, which was a Father's Day ride where we didn't do anything fancy. We literally rode down to the Atlantic Ocean, hit Ocean Parkway, just got some miles together and just appreciated the time together. And what are we now? 7 years later, we're still doing the same damn thing, just on two very different bikes than how we started. As you know, in the beginning, it was literally just my Dyna Lowrider S and his Ultra Classic, and now we have an FXR in the stable, an ST in the stable, a Super Glide in the stable. You know, he's tossing around the idea of maybe getting a Road Glide ST, but that's what I told him, and you know, maybe we'll see how he feels in the video where I shoot of him riding this bike. Is like I said, I do feel like if he steps onto something that is modern, like the ST that I'm on right now, it's gonna poison his mind just like it did to me, and he'll be probably moving on to one of the ST models. It's just undeniable performance. But I gotta say, you know, on this Father's Day, I'm looking forward to switching things up and hopping on my FXDX, because I actually haven't ridden my DX probably since my wreck, you know, back in the fall. So it's been a while since I've been on that bike, and I'm still not fully used to the ST. For me, it just feels so much lower than all my Dynas feel, right? So I'm definitely used to a taller bike and how that feels suspension wise. So the Dyna is always going to be home for me, but again, the ST is undeniably the best performance right now. So you can't argue that, man. I got plenty of videos coming up along the way to talk about that and make comparisons with the bike he's on now, as well as my other Dyna, etc. But that's it in terms of adventures that I have coming up with my dad, because I know a lot of you do enjoy the content where I ride with the old man. You know, that's pretty much the first couple of videos I did on this channel. What's coming up is we might actually shoot a Captain's Corner episode 3 today. In terms of bike trips, the one that we have coming up is the 120th anniversary. So I'll be doing that with the old man, and super excited for that. But again, as I start to wind this one down, as I'm sure you all are getting punished by wind, which, hey, that's the realness. You're hearing exactly what I hear. You know, I just cannot say it enough, and I know I said it at the beginning of the video, is motorcycles would not be what it is for me without my dad. 100%. It would not be what it is without the miles I get to do with my dad. And on the bike and off the bike throughout my life, my dad has instilled discipline, hard work, perseverance, all while maintaining a positive mental attitude and a good sense of humor. And, you know, in my adult life, not a day goes by that I am not grateful for the principles and the values that my dad has instilled in to me from a very early age, and still to this day. So Dad, I love you. If you're watching this, I appreciate all the time you spent with me as a kid to show me the way, and all the time that you still spend with me as an adult. Dad of the year, man. Love you, Dad. But as we continue our descent to the Atlantic Ocean on this beautiful Father's Day, I just want to give a shout out to all the OG dads out there, like the road captain in front of me. I want to give a shout out to all the new dads out there, you know, especially my buddy Old Man Armstrong. This kid actually just turned 1 year old. So all my buddies that just became new dads, my brother who became a new dad a couple of years ago, you know, just shout out to all the old and new dads out there, because my life on and off the bike would just not be anywhere close to the quality of what it is without my old man. You all know that. So as always, stay safe out there and stay low. Ride Lowrider STs and ride Dyna Superglide Sports. On that, FXDLS Brooklyn is out.